Final round of the Travelers Championship, one for the ages. Jordan Spieth, Daniel Berger in the playoff, and Spieth wins it with this holdout bunker shot on the very first playoff hole. Jordan gets his 10th PGA Tour win the same way he got his first, with a birdie out of the bunker. Jordan Spieth wins the Travelers Championship, and Golf Central is on the air.
Golf Central, brought to you by Titleist.
Jordan Spieth wins for the second time this season and does it in dramatic fashion. Spieth needed this shot out of the bunker on the first playoff hole. Jordan has now converted 8 of his last 9 54-hole leads into victories. And boy, this one will be hard to match for excitement. The great amphitheater here at 18 at TPC River Highlands, and thousands of fans there to watch history made as Jordan Spieth wins for the 10th time on the PGA Tour. And with that, we welcome you to Golf Central on the road right here at the Travelers Championship. We had a bird's eye view for one of the best finishes we will see the entire season on the PGA Tour. Ryan Burr with PGA Tour winner Brandel Chambly, the winner of the 1977 Travelers Championship, Billy Kratzert. And Billy, you can practice golf and practice and get really, really good. The one thing you can't practice is the it factor. Jordan Spieth has it, and he did it again.
Yeah, champions find a way to get it done. And we were watching golf that was not very good today for quite some time. But Jordan Spieth, he found a way to get it done. He was fortunate on a few occasions. He took advantage of it. And then his short game. This week, we know how good his short game is, but this week, around the greens, he was number 3, Brandel, this week, and he certainly leaned on it quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a highlight we're going to see. He's going to see for, the rest of his career. We'll watch it. We won't get tired of it. This was a historic day. Since 1962, the 3 youngest men to have won 10 times on the PGA Tour are Tiger, Jordan, and Jack Nicklaus. Now, everybody will argue that this era is the deepest era, that it is the hardest era to win in, deepest fields. They'll also argue that this is the most power prejudice era that golf has ever seen. So when you look at Jordan Spieth and you think of what he's accomplished without the asset of great power, then you start to realize that it's the intangibles. It's the perseverance, the tenacity, the calmness, the confidence, the grittiness. Those are the assets and the intangibles that are the hardest to explain, the hardest to quantify, but the most valuable assets that any athlete can have. When you start to look at Jordan, just like Tiger, just like Jack, and you look at all of his statistics, he's a much better player than all of those would suggest. And all of those would suggest he's amazing. But when you start to look at it, you almost cannot explain what he's doing at such a young age.
Yeah, it's the it factor. There's no doubt about it. We often talk about what's wrong with Jordan Spieth, kind of chasing what happened in 2015, where he simply had one of the greatest years in the history of golf. Well, he already has his second win this year. He's back into 4th in the world golf rankings. And the question is, maybe instead of what's wrong with Jordan Spieth, Billy, do we need to sit back and say he's 23, let's enjoy the ride for the next 10 years or so?
Well, I think maybe Tiger Woods spoiled us with all his good play and 142 cuts in a row. I don't think anyone's ever going to do that again. And so we kind of fell into that trap and we kind of got used to it. But I think Jordan Spieth, I love to watch the young man play. He's so humble, but yet he is so great. And to win 2 majors, 10 times on the PGA Tour, to be sandwiched right in between Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus, as you said, Brandel, that's quite an accomplishment. And it's just fun to play. And many times, many times, we don't see the best win. We see someone give it away. But Jordan Spieth, he stood the test. He didn't have his best, but he got it done at the end.
You're right. I think Tiger Woods did spoil us, just like Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus won 10 events on the PGA Tour in 58 tournaments. Tiger Woods won 10 events on the PGA Tour in 63 tournaments. I think, and that's otherworldly. I just cannot imagine a player coming along. They're once-in-a-lifetime type players. I think a more accurate or apt comparison would be along the lines of Phil Mickelson, who did win 10 tournaments as a professional in 115 events. Jordan Spieth getting it done quicker than that in 112 events. Again, and this is this is the most shocking thing to me. He's done this without the advantage of dominating power.
There's no doubt. It's his third consecutive season, Brandel, with multiple wins, as Jordan Spieth, still 23 years of age, winning for the 10th time on the PGA Tour and doing it in truly dramatic fashion with an incredible crowd here at the Travelers Championship. Our champion, Jordan Spieth, spoke with Chantel McCabe.
Jordan, a hole out from the bunker in a playoff for your 10th PGA Tour win. How the heck did you pull that off?
Yeah, you know, I felt comfortable in the bunker. I felt more comfortable in the bunker than I did from 4 feet. I was in there in regulation, knew that it was the place to be. So on my approach shot, I thought that, you know, if it were not going to carry, that bunker's not bad. If it happens to carry onto the green, great. From 225 into this hole, you know, I was happy with where it was and was just trying to get it up there, you know, somewhere around the hole. For it to actually kind of spin in, you know, I went and jumped up and saw it kind of spinning towards the middle of the hole, and I'm like, no way. You know, I'm looking at it like there's no way. And it hit and went in, and I lost my mind.
We saw you lose your mind. The crowd lost his mind. But speaking of skipping using the flat stick, a couple blemishes on the back nine, close putts. How did you stay patient through that?
It was tough. I thought I give a lot of credit to Michael. I thought this was his most impressive performance he's ever had. I thought he was, I mean, this whole week, I haven't felt comfortable on the greens. I've voiced that. Even when I made some putts, they didn't necessarily feel like great putts. It wasn't a normal kind of Jordan putting week. And, you know, something like this could be a catapult. But Michael kept me grounded. He said, look, this one, I don't want you dropping to any negative thoughts. Stay as positive as you can. We're not letting this one slip away. We're gonna finish like we have the last couple days on these last few holes. So, and he reiterated that in different ways throughout the back nine. Which is very important.
Clearly it worked. 10 PGA Tour wins before the age of 24. Only one other person has done that, being Tiger Woods. Reflect on what that means to you and everything you've done to accomplish that.
Oh, it's really cool. I mean, there's a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of fun. I mean, we get to play golf for a living. I mean, this is what I grew up wanting to do. This is my dream, to be able to have a crowd like this, an amphitheater like this, and have people, you know, cheering you on, doing what you love to do. And, you know, obviously a nice bonus there, but just in general, the entire week, it's amazing. Each one has been very special in their own right. This one being kind of a landmark 10th victory, and the way that it happened, boy, I got really lucky. I mean, there was somebody upstairs looking over me in that playoff hole. There's no doubt about it. But, yeah, I mean, we'll move on from here. This is a big catapult for the second half of the year. We got 2 majors in the playoffs left, and some other events in between. So very excited about what 2017 still has in store.
And Jordan Spieth says he's looking for a catapult. You compare him to certainly one of the top 2 players of all time in Tiger Woods, and both able to win for the 10th time now before the age of 24. Ultimately, Tiger got 15 before he turned 24, but Jordan Spieth, not bad second to Tiger. You think about listening to that interview, guys, and just hearing him talk about how he's able to get it done, and even went a little third person there with Jordan, that it was out of character the way he putted, missing, you know, some really easy putts that you kind of already had written the number down on the card. To get this victory without your fastball, what does that say about Jordan Spieth?
Well, I watched Tiger Woods win a lot of golf tournaments with what I think he would probably call some ugly golf. He used to call it his B game or his C game even. But really all anybody's going to remember is that when it got tight, he performed his best. You know, all of these players pay sports psychologists, Billy, a lot of money. It doesn't matter whether it's golf, basketball, football, you take it. They're all paying sports psychologists to try to help them in big moments play their best. But most athletes are at their worst in big moments. It's the rare athlete that is better, that their focus gets narrower. And Jordan Spieth, of course, showing us very early in his career that he had that rare quality to narrow his focus, slow things down, and get better in big moments, Billy.
Were you a believer when he did that at the John Deere? But then he just keeps following it up. This is at Valspar, just outside Tampa in 2015, and he finds a way to win. And you talk about the intangibles, you talk about winning. It is so hard to win out here, and when a player has that chance to win and to capture it like Jordan did today, that's even more special. You could hear it in his voice. You could hear it in the interview, just how much it meant to him to win for the 10th time. And even though he didn't have his best stuff, a win is a win. And it was huge for him today, especially with his confidence.
No doubt about it. Gets the number 10 and talks about still have 2 majors left this season. So a lot still on the table for Jordan Spieth. We'll see what this victory does for him and the remainder of the season. A lot more still to come. The bagpipes have just started behind us. Jordan Spieth is the victor. We'll hear from Jordan when we come back.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball at the Travelers Championship. Bushnell Golf and the Pro X2 with enhanced slope switch technology.